I'm dead. Life does not like me today. Is this working? Is this better? We good? Good. All right. Welcome to Tech Talk with Emoji J. We're gonna talk about artificial intelligence. Um, our guests are Sunny and Velma, and I'm just gonna invite you guys in because this is dumb. There's that, and we're waiting on Velma.
I
I'm done with it. Yeah, so somebody doesn't want me to have a show because every
I
time I try to do,
guess
last time this happened before too.
it should not
So,
be this many technical difficulties on a tech show. This is not making us look good.
I know.
all right, why don't you guys briefly introduce yourselves and tell everybody what's going on? I'm gonna do that now since we're limited on time and all
Now
of
that we're
that.
here. Hello, everybody. I am Sunny. I am a streamer here. I'm off and on with my streaming, depending on what's going on in my life. But just on the tech version of it, I do have a small tech company that I have been building, which is why I've been MIA on the app a lot because I'm growing up, becoming a big girl, getting them contracts signed and things like that. But I do a lot of my shows are surrounded around cooking, around music. I plan a lot of events for the apps. I was mainly doing my thing and the split happened, so I'm trying to work that out. But my match is completed, so you will start seeing me being busy over here again as well. So just hit that fade because I guess they top ads things are still the same. I'm real close to it. I need those fades, and just be on the lookout. We got a lot of new interesting things. Reinvented with Sunny is still on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. I won't be on this week because my daughter's military graduation is Wednesday. But the following Wednesday, we'll be back with Reinvented with Sunny at on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Pretty sweet for
Oh,
me today.
that was amazing. I didn't know all of that. That's really exciting. I didn't know all that's like Christmas news to me. That's amazing. Um, my name is Velma. I do not have a technology startup or anything like that. But I am a relatively new streamer. I am very interested in building community here. I have my own game show that is on Mondays at midnight. And I occasionally stream at night.
All right. So basically, today's topic is going to be artificial intelligence and the benefits of artificial intelligence and the human interactions with artificial intelligence and the negative aspects of artificial intelligence. What kind of benefits do you guys see with artificial intelligence itself? Like, uh, what kind of, I guess, technology-wise, what can be used for to benefit the human, or us as humans, and what can it do to benefit us, and what can it do to um, help us better ourselves in the future?
Looks, we know that already. Looks, we know that. Well, let me put the glasses down right here so I can look real nerdy. But just on that, it's for me, AI is an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. And in the same ways that it's going to be beneficial to us, you're going to find the same amount of things in a way that it's going to be not so beneficial to us. But for one of the main things, I actually tried an AI thing for the first time a couple of weeks ago, where I was actually because I do have a spa business too. As I make organic spa products as well, and I was putting items up on my website, right? And one of the most tasking things when you're doing your website and you're putting product up is putting all those product descriptions in, right? And you have to make sure you got the ingredients, what you wanted to say it does, and all that, right? So I was like, ugh, I got these pictures. Now I got to put all these descriptions in. And it had the A option for the AI. So all I had to do, I typed in whipped body butter and it gave me 6 paragraphs. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I like this. Let me look at it. and it had everything I would want in it. So it took out my having to do all of that description, and a lot of it is going to be a copy paste. If you have all body butters, six. If you say you got 6 items, and the AI gave you 4 or 5 descriptive paragraphs that fit your item, you can just have it go on. So that made that so much easier. I still didn't finish it, but that makes it so much easier. But at the same time, does it take away that personal touch?
Mm.
So it helps in that regard. I saw them doing on the news where they were doing income tax for people, and they were showing how to just download all the forms and all your information in there, and it calculated it, and then they had an accountant do it, and it came out exactly the same. Yeah, so it can be an amazing thing, and especially in the educational realm of it, for some of those with certain disabilities and things like that, it will work especially well for them. Like I have a grandchild who's this much on a spectrum, um, and but he hacked my iPad and my cell phone 3 weeks ago. He just turned 4. Right before he turned 4, he hacked my iPhone and my iPad and put his game and YouTube Kids on my devices. So, but for him, it's something that will work wonderful because we can actually put in, we need this type of lesson plan for somebody with sensory deprivation or something like that, and it can give us something fine tuned to him. But at the same time, is that making us lazy parents and not looking for the information? But it can be very, very beneficial in a whole lot of ways. Oh, and I saw even the cooking. That one I know I'm going to do because they have it now where you can have it and you can have it take pictures of what's in your refrigerator and give you meal plans by what's in your refrigerator.
I haven't seen that yet. Maybe
I
You
like
haven't seen that one yet?
I haven't seen that one yet. That's interesting. That could
Yeah, you
be.
can, because they had an AI conference about a month or so ago, and that was one of the things they showed, and I was like half listening until they said about for the cooks. I'm like, huh? And you and you can have it take. You can just scan your refrigerator, and it'll give you meal plans, meal options for the things that you have in your refrigerator.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use it. I use like Chat GBT quite a bit to generate ideas for like just getting started writing. Once you have a parameter of things that you want to cover, you can tell it, a prompt. And one of my favorite things to do if I get really stuck is like say, in the style of Morgan Freeman, please tell me how I'm going to do all of these homework for the week. And then I'll like get even like a little bit of a pep talk from Morgan Freeman. It's amazing.
Wow.
Basically it takes um, I think like a lot of the information in ChatGPT goes up to 2022. It's not like the most current news all the time, but it has been used. And this is like the professional version. I pay for the subscription. Um, so yeah, to help generate ideas for writing and that sort of thing. That's what I use it for.
Mm.
What about the negative consequences using artificial intelligence that you might encounter in the future?
Can't hear you good.
Hold on. Let me. I have some computer in front of me here.
It was good sound for a minute, then it went away.
Is that
Say that
better?
again.
A little bit.
Okay. So what about the negative consequences of using artificial intelligence? What kind of problems do you see in use now and the near future with artificial
Just some of the problems we think we may come up with AI.
intelligence using it?
One
For
of the biggest things that's been in the news already is I can't think of what it's called, but where they're putting the faces on another body, and they're doing that a lot with children and preteens and teens, and they're actually able to put their faces on these bodies. and doing having some pornographic type things, and they're just going all over the web. That was one of the things that in the congressional day, it was a congressional hearing the other day with the CEOs of the big companies, and that's one of the things that they were talking about, because a lot of these children have ended themselves. They've gotten into addictions and runaway and things like that, and don't want to go to school anymore, just because that technology is there. And then the where the problem is coming in is the big companies are not taking the information down immediately. So, and we know in a world of technology, something up for a minute can reach millions of people. So it can be a really, really big issue with that part of it. And then the other part that I'm most concerned with is as far as our central intelligence, our military protection. That's where I'm most concerned, because if we have the technology, somebody else has that technology, you know. And so that's one of the things that's the most concerning, and the loss of jobs, and the loss of jobs. Those are the top three for me. The top three for me.
Really good points. Yeah, I mean, what you're talking about, um, with children, like, and just falsifying like whole news reports and things like that, videos, saying that someone was caught doing something. What I think we're talking about is like the ethical side of using technology.
Right.
Think about all the issues we've ever come across in sci-fi movies. We're there. We're there with being
Right.
able to use technology to create new things, both for good and for bad. So, like, check out your Marvel movies. Like, we have to, it's like that battle of who has the answer first. And then what Sunny was talking about is even if you are the one that has it first, someone else is going to get it. And then what are they going to do with that technology?
Mhm.
Because, like, just very briefly, if we create something where they're automating these things that humans would do, and we're trying to say that we can create the most and we program it to do that, then what are the consequences of loss of jobs, but also when technology becomes smarter than us and like we become the issue, and technology is like, we don't need these humans. There's
Right.
like a whole valid debate out there called the paperclip theory.
Mhm.
And so yeah, there's definitely a spectrum of like very amazing um, things that come from like being able to create um, like certain surgeries and health benefits for people around the world,
Mhm.
to like taking over. What if we had something that could take over all of the communication systems, and
Exactly. That's
if
why I
they
said
shut
about
it
the
down?
military concern. That's my military concern.
Exactly.
Hmm. And you know how
Because
you say we back in the sci-fi movies. I am a Star Trek girl. I watch Star Trek. Probably I go in phases, but I've been watching it for 3 months. I watch it every night. I go to sleep to Star Trek. And one of the things I used to say, oh, I can't wait to see the hologram, to be able to do the transporter, and to be able to go to the machine and say, let me have 8 ounces of a dark roast coffee with 3 shots cream. I love those things. Now it's there. I'm scared of it. I'm scared of it because these things that we were watching on the sci-fi 10, 20, 30 years ago, is so much is here. But what's happened is this didn't just happen. And that seems to be the problem with US as a whole. We get so excited at the little inventions when they come, the little bit of this, the little bit of that. Ooh, this is good. Ooh, this is good. But we don't realize that that's the small part of the big picture, and they just giving us crumbs. They've just been giving us crumbs with the face ID for to get on our phones and things like that. Cause I use it. I like my devices with that.
Star Trek, right? The idea
Huh?
of a the idea of a flip phone came from Star Trek.
Right.
So you
The
gotta realize that.
communicator.
For those of you joining
Ex-
us on the Tech Talk with Emoji J, and these are my guests, Velma and Sunny, and we're talking about artificial intelligence and the benefits and the um, the benefits and the problems, I guess, that arise with artificial intelligence. Um, yeah. So the
And what was the movie with Will Smith with the robotics?
Is it?
I, I Robot.
I Robot. And you see how they learned, they adapted, turned into the Borg from Star Trek. That's my
No,
thing is it's gonna turn into the Borg.
they have computers that are robots right now that have artificial what is that called? Artificial intelligence, and they're who knows what can happen with that, right? Who knows if they start putting robots in people's houses a robot, for example, who knows what would happen with the robot itself? Is it going to turn against you? Is it going to, all you have to do is have one set of programs that basically
Exactly.
you know, turns against you, and then that's an issue. That's an issue all on its own, and it goes back to thank you for the gift of advance. That goes also with um Teslas, for example, self-drive, right? The Teslas don't know how to stop for humans. They don't know how to interact with humans.
Hmm.
That's also been a problem,
Yeah.
and I think if I remember correctly, Ted Brown that from an incident where Tesla just ran into the human as well. So
And
stuff like that,
there's already been robots in people's homes. Is
right?
that's another one of those little things that we were, overlooking. The drones are part of that AI, contribution. But we also cool. Oh, I can get my stuff delivered with a drone. I just want to see it happening, And it's those breadcrumbs. It's the breadcrumbs, and people don't look at the big picture until it hit. The guy that's over the biggest company with the AI, I can't remember his name, but they were interviewing him, and the lady asked him, "Are you afraid of AI technology?" He said, "I would be stupid not to be." She said, "But you're the CEO of the company." He said, "Exactly. And if anybody is not afraid of where this can go, you're not looking at it like you should be looking at it." He said, "I'm very afraid." He said he was very afraid of it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even even at a different perspective, like the Teslas, for example, they were like during ice storms and things like that, they just become deserted because there's not enough places to go charge them. They need to be charged at a certain temperature for them to even get started. So even the technology being used, I mean, there's another perspective. It's not the same argument that we're having right now about technology getting too smart. It's interesting when humans are developing the technology, this is the detriment because we didn't think about like global warming and like changing conditions about how we were going to handle that either.
Yeah. It was something I had a law professor tell me a long time ago. He said the detriment of the United States is going to be always saying, "What if?" The word, just that phrase, "What if?" That's in the good on saying, "What if we do this? Would this help this?" And it does. But also, it would be our detriment to say, because they're not saying, "What if," like Emoji says, it starts adapting? What if it's a glitch? And instead of it saying, burp the baby, it says choke the baby, or something, just those little things. And it's not even so, though, all of the what if we do the what ifs. What if we do this? Can we not have to use so much oil? What if we do this? Will it cut down the carbon footprint? But the what if we do this and it starts doing that? What if it takes away 10 million jobs? What
One,
if it turns against us? What
and
if
one
somebody else
like
gets into our technology? Well, I could
people,
just hear your mouth, see your mouth moving. I didn't hear you talking. I'm sorry.
one thing that people talk about is the job. Is AI going to take over the jobs? Like that's been a big thing because of with the Walmart checkout self checkouts, right? So it's not really AI, but it's still a kind of a basis on AI that premises of what it's about, right? So they're
Right. You sound
doing.
good right there. Whatever you did, stay right there.
I'm not touching anything.
Oh.
Touch anything. Take it
Yeah, but you know they changed their mind now on that because Dollar General did the same thing with just about everything. They reconstructed their stores and have like 4 to 6 self checkouts. But now they're wanting to change that back because what? One, they're seeing that their loss prevention has gone up. There's more theft, so they're getting more items missing than they're getting money in for because people are stealing intentional or unintentionally, it said. And then people are stopping because there's no personal touch anymore. If I'm about to come in here and spend what I work 20 hours to make, I shouldn't be working myself. And if I'm working myself, that means I should be getting that 10, 20% discount off my total if I'm checking myself out. But
right.
now Dollar General is reverting and they're going to take all these self checkouts out now because people are complaining of the if something's missing, if there is a problem, then that's delaying them even more. But that was number two on the list. Number one reason on the list was because their loss has increased because there's nobody there personally doing the checkout. So now
I
they
don't
want to
know.
switch back.
Know if this is a form of AI per se, but it definitely is necessary when it comes to jobs and people working because it does put out the human
Yep.
aspect of a person doing the checkout, right? Because
Yep.
I'm sorry, no, when I go to a store, I want to go to a checkout line with a person. I don't want to rely on. What can
Mhm.
be the wrong? The person has to come and check out, help you with the checkout anyway, even if something goes wrong. So it's not usually artificial intelligence, but it is still human interaction with computers, and I think that's still along the lines of
Mhm. It's taking a lot of
artificial.
the personal touch out, and that's something AI I don't think is ever going to be able to do, no matter how much you have it to mimic a certain personality or a certain situation. That's something I don't think AI will ever be able to do. But if AI does get to that, that's going to cut out so many jobs because they don't have to pay. There's no unemployment insurance you got to worry about. There's there's no life insurance. Da 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 da. But upkeep is not going to be cheap because myself and some of the people in my little organization here, we install self checkout units for Walmart, and I know what they pay us to install those self checkouts in Walmart. So if you have to pay us that amount of money to install, if you get to where you got to have them maintained, and I have a tech that's new to it who gets $40 an hour to go and install self checkout unit at these stores. So they're steady, but they would rather put that kind of money in at one time. They'll pay $60,000 to get these machines put in, but they don't want to put that $60,000 into a person who needs to put food on the table and pay for the electricity and things like that. So it backfiring on them. I'm good at backfiring on them.
I get it. Thank you for giving the vibe. This is something another day. Our topic today is artificial intelligence and what you're trying with artificial intelligence and what the negative consequences are with artificial intelligence. This right now, I'm going to go into the news segment, which is also uh, has to do with AI, but apparently, Tim Cook teases Apple artificial intelligence announcement for the iPhone and Apple products that go with that. So, what do you guys think that is going to benefit Apple? Uh, this is all speculation because he doesn't really announce anything in regards, right? So, what do you think that the benefits are going to be and the negatives are going to be with artificial intelligence and Apple products itself, Apple products in general?
Vilma, do me a favor. Give me a light recap because I didn't catch all of it.
Jay was talking about how Apple is coming up with a new AI technology and what are some of the benefits and negatives with associated that you can see with a major company
Okay.
specifically going off with that technology without announcing to the public exactly what it is, as one does in Apple.
You go ahead. You go first this
Oh,
time.
oh, me first. Okay. Um, I don't know. Here's I'm like a sociological person. I think about the spectrum as like you could think about it as a doomsday, like what we see in our sci-fi, and what really is possible. Or we can think about how it could be used towards the good. So I always spend my energy thinking about the good and how even you know thinking about our idea about it taking away jobs. Well, maybe humans aren't meant to have those jobs anymore. Maybe we have a different purpose. So maybe there would be, so to me, I think maybe we're just on a huge cultural shift where we learn about our purposes way more than like doing these menial jobs. Like, what can we bring that technology would never be able to bring? And what I see with a company like Apple is they're trying to bridge that gap. That's what I think. They're like giving you the answer of how you can show up more as a human in the spaces that you exist in. Like, um, I think about, like, for example, Facebook creating like the glasses and everything like that, and you be able to live stream straight from your glasses and like show what you're seeing and all of that. I'm like, that seems very helpful. Of course, there's, I'm sure we can talk about how that would be horrific having a live stream like that, not as well maintained or researched. So I can see both sides of that coin.
One thing that people need to realize too is that we're trying to take jobs, not just the self checkouts, but such as burger places like McDonald's, for instance. They were doing test runs with a computer to basically place your order, make food, and serve the food. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's going to affect people in jobs, or do you think that's going to benefit us in the long end?
You mean like placing the orders at the little machine, the kiosk
Cook,
machines, or
placing the orders, cooking the food, preparing the food, and cleaning up after. They were talking about replacing human interaction with jobs in general.
they need to concentrate on having some healthier food.
Smash
But I
my
myself, the type, and
McDonald's.
I do want to. I'm going to come back to what Vilma said because that was very interesting. I like that you said that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Um, if I ever encounter a store or a place where I normally go, restaurant or show or store or whatever, and they have totally turned into I will stop because I am big on customer experience. And I am big on that old school, let's talk, that eye contact, that shake hand, that thank you, and can I help you? I'm very, very big on that. So when it gets to everything is on an AI level, I'm not, I want to enjoy that experience. And somebody might say, oh, you might like it. Okay, I might like it, but I'm not going to put myself in a position to like it because I don't want everything to be a computer. I don't want everything to be a computer. The personal touch is so much different. It just hits different. Even though we have a lot of rude people at Walmart and McDonald's, sometimes you get that customer service and it's like, and I will tell them, I appreciate you for your service today. I'm not saying that to a robot. I'm not, you
No,
know.
no, thank you for you, robot.
What do you think? What do you think that what what do you think that Apple is going to introduce with this artificial intelligence that they keep talking about that it keeps hearing?
Apple's
What do
gonna
you
push it as far as as far as government allows them to push it. Apple is the definition of the US. I want to be the best. I got to get it out first. I need my bottom line to always be in the black. Apple is the definition of the US. So they're going to push it as far as the government will allow. The only time I think they're going to slow down on anything is when something catastrophic happens. That's the only thing that's going to stop it.
I agree with
Mm.
that. Um, what other aspects of technology do you think that AI could be implemented for, say, your home, for example, or say cooking? What do you think kind of technology products that could be used with artificial intelligence that can be beneficial to humans?
Now, like I said, the one where it'll tell you what it's a commercial for the Echo glasses. Come on all the time. I was like, ooh, yeah, those would be good when you're in a brick and mortar working kind of thing. I do believe in the food industry. It would help. Like the commercial is showing a chef. I mean, he's the head chef, so he's running a restaurant. So as he's cooking, he sees he's running low on stuff. He said, add shallots to my shopping list. That kind of thing. But the meal now, if they want it, I don't think it needs to. It can't. It's got to be a point to stop. It can be good in every aspect of our lives. If you have them where they're moving, have them for unloading the trucks, unloading the food trucks, stocking the shelves, and things like that. But when you get into the food part, you don't. It gets a little tricky and looking. And I'm allergic to tetanus, so when you're working with metals and stuff, I don't want certain stuff touching things that might touch me because I'm allergic to tetanus. So if anything with some rust or anything that comes off metal in a certain way, I'm in a life or death situation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the only person. And a lot of people are allergic to certain things, even latex, plastics, acrylics, and if it's touching our products, then that can, put more things for us to have to worry about just from a health standpoint. But it can be good and everything. It just don't need to take over. It don't need to take over. And in the U.S., we so lazy as a people. The nation, the world, we're so lazy as a people. They used to say we wanted that one pill to take care of all our ailments and not have to work at anything. That's what AI is to me. It's like it's that one pill to take care of everything. But what did they find out? That one pill is not going to work. You got to have something else going on. You got to have something else going on. I'm interested
People
to see.
back
I've had a
to
robotic surgery, and so I'm kind of hypocritical because I've had a robotic surgery.
I think it goes back to movies like I Robot, where and Terminator. I'm bringing in Terminator because everybody likes Terminator, and everybody likes Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to save the world and all of that stuff. Because it was the
Yeah.
same concept, right? It was the same concept. The robots,
Hmm.
take over the humans, but then there's that one robot that feels bad, has no feelings, and tries to save the world. And it's the same thing with iRobot, right? There's that
Yep.
one robot that tries to save the world and tries to
Yep.
save humanity. Do you
Well,
think
I
that?
think about you were saying, Jay, about house technology. I think about the Purge. I think about Cube. I think about like, okay, how easy is it to hack into things? How much do I want them to listen and record like they already are? But like,
Yep.
I don't want to be locked into my house.
Mm-mm.
I want to be able to actually use my key to unlock it and get out. So we have a limit in our house for sure.
Mhm.
My profession is like I'm going to be accountable online classes because they believe in that human element and learning that first, even as technology is making, like telehealth a big offering. So yeah, I really think that the conversation isn't like if we like it or not. It's like how much are we going to allow before it takes over.
It's, I told you it's gonna have to be something catastrophic happen before they say, oh well, maybe we shouldn't have did this, or maybe we shouldn't have did this much, or maybe we should have put this mechanism in so that this didn't happen. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And like I said, I had a robotic surgery, so that was in a form of AI type situation, but it wasn't totally at my point when I had my surgery. It wasn't totally robot. The doctor was in his little thing and he was controlling the movements and things of the robot.
Okay,
But
here's
that
the
was just the
question.
beginning. It's going to be where there's just going to be straight robot.
Question that I got: would you do that same surgery if it was all artificial intelligence?
No, no, I wouldn't.
Why not? Why not?
I wouldn't trust it. What if it's a malfunction? What if there's something that happens at the split second that they haven't programmed into that robot that a
You make a
doctor that's right there can do?
mistake too, right? A human can
Yeah,
make a mistake. So what's the difference between? And I'm just this is a hypothetical question. What would
yeah,
happen if like did the same procedure, right? And then a robot did the same procedure with artificial intelligence.
yeah.
What's the difference?
For
This
me,
is
it's just a matter of knowing that it was a person that tried. Now, see, because on one hand, and I'm always a devil's advocate. So on one hand, I see how the robot totally doing it could be better because you can program in so much information, so many do's and don'ts and things like that into a robot, and they can pull on that information where a doctor may not be as experienced and only know certain things. But for me, I will take my chances with that doctor. Then I'll do a robot assist, but I wouldn't do that same surgery just totally robotic. I wouldn't.
that fight with Emoji J. The guests are Sunny and Rama. We're doing this every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you'd like to be guests on the show, contact me on Instagram. Rama, what do you think? Would you do a surgery with a robot that's completely artificial intelligence, or would you want a human to do it? But remember, the question is that if the artificial intelligence had the same, because it is artificial intelligence, thought process as a human, would you do the surgery?
If I needed a surgery, I'm gonna get that surgery. That's the first thing I'll say, because I could say if I had a choice, I would maybe I want to learn it a little bit better. I want to know, I want to test it out. This is also new, but we don't have that luxury. So I don't know many times I've got. I don't know. I haven't had surgery, so also like I haven't had surgery besides having my child. So that would be freaky. I would not like a non-human touch for that, you know. So I would not want it. But if there was not a choice, and this is like
Yeah.
what we're moving towards, then I'm gonna get the surgery.
If there wasn't a choice, I probably wouldn't do it. If it's an emergency situation and somebody else has to make that decision, it's a life or death situation, then okay, that's a different story. But like with me knowing that my doctor that did mine, the reason it's so much different for me with an assistant is because you have built a rapport with your surgeon and you know what type of personality your doctor has, so if they're going to, you can tell if they're going to do everything in their power. You can feel if they're just nonchalant. So with mine, I did research and I watched the procedures, whether it was robotic assisted and with just all with doctor. I watched videos and I almost canceled out the surgery period because I was watching the surgical procedures. But what I did was I researched my doctor as well, his mortality rate with and without the, robotic assisted. And my doctor actually was the one who brought it to the hospital where I was at.
Here's
So
my
he was
question.
at the forefront then. So, he was on the hands in training and how to do it. And I researched how many he had and how what the outcomes of them. He gave me all the information. So I was at a point where I could say, okay, I'm cool with it. like that. But just something cold and mechanical, and this is a life. It just
Let's
is
devil's advocate.
odd.
Mike, here's my question: what if the robot had zero errors on performing the same procedure? Right? You get what I'm saying? What if this robot
Hmm.
showed zero errors, 100% success? Would you still would you still not want to have the robot do the procedure, or would you want to have the human do it? Let's
I
say, let's
still would
say,
not.
say, let's say the human had two mistakes on the procedure, and the robot had 100%. Would you still do it,
I still would go for the human.
for the human? Soma?
I
Can't hear
think
you.
that I'm open to stuff. I feel like at the end of the day, I see the direction things are going. When I see a whole
Hmm.
hospital moving towards incorporating this, then I believe in the hospital, then that has a big weigh in on me. Um, I just kind of understand the human experience as like I don't trust something new.
Hmm.
I don't trust something not human, but maybe it's beyond what I can understand, and so I give it a little bit more validity, I guess. Than
Let me give you one example with that. Because I have a blood disorder, right? My doctor already knew possible things. And where there's the information, what they used to say back in the day, Jay, junk in, junk out. What they're going to put in is basic things. But my doctor knows that I've had blood work done and it clotted before it got to the lab. My doctor knows that there's been times where my blood was so thin that they couldn't test it. So my doctor knows those personal things. You know what I'm saying? So what was told with me, I had two anesthesiologists. That's how tricky my surgery was. I had two. And the head one came and told me if I see any fluctuation in anything, I'm waking you up. Is a robot going to be able to be that attentive? Is a robot going to say if their heart rate drops down 10 points, you start waking them up? But my doctor knows because of what's going on with me. If mine drops one, start waking her up. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of that personal
you're
touch I'm
talking
talking
about
about.
personalization versus treatment for the typical case.
For the mass, yeah.
Good point.
Robot is, the robot is programmed to wake you up at that, you know, one drop. The robot can be programmed to
But will they do that? That's the thing. Will they put that in?
that. We don't know that, right?
Yeah. Now maybe the doctor, the surgeon would have, and now the surgeons have that opportunity that they can add that into it before each individual surgery. But that, what y'all think about it, that's not gonna happen. Because when surgeons are doing surgery, they're scheduling from 4 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. And they may do surgeries all Mondays, all Wednesdays, all Thursdays. They're not going to have that time to, and who's going to put that information in? It's going to be too much, and I don't see them doing that.
Right. This is Tech Fight with Tech Talk, sorry, with Emoji J. My guests are Sunny and Velma, and we're here every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to contact me on Instagram, my Instagram is Emoji J underscore live. Thank you guys for being guests. We're coming sort of soon. We got about 15 minutes left of the show. I any final thoughts that you would like to bring into this picture? Is there any final thoughts positive thoughts and negative thoughts that you would like to talk about with artificial intelligence?
There's actually a topic that's been big with the AI that I was wanted us to touch was how they're using it to sample artists' voices,
Right.
and they're actually taking, say, Taylor Swift is the hottest thing right now. They can actually get her voice exact and put it to one of their own songs. And that's being an issue right now, is they're being able to duplicate. AI is able to duplicate the voices exactly.
Think about that. If if they do that, right? If they do that, is they subject to copyright laws because A, using
That's the problem. That's the problem.
or B, if it's their own song, where's the law? Where does this law drawn on that, right? Because is it A, is your own song in the artist's voice, but at the same time, it's not their original words because it's their voice, but it's your original words because
Yep.
it's your lyrics.
Yep.
What would a judge? Would a judge say if it was taken to court? Sonny?
And some have taken it to court. And that's what they're fighting about now, because the copyright is on the words, not on the person's voice. So if it's my original song and I take Velma's voice and put on it, what right does Velma have? Because it's a automated, intelligent, copied Velma's voice to the T, that nobody can tell the difference. And that's what it, I can't remember which artist it was, but that's what it was that everybody thought this person had released a new song. So this person who put that other artist's voice on was reaping the benefits, because people thought they were getting that person's song when it was an AI generated voice. So that's something that they're fighting about right now. A lot of the people that the singing artists, they're like really up for grabs on it, because that's what's going on right now. And if they have a song, but like say I put a song, get Velma voice, and I put out a song that's very derogatory to women, and everybody think that's Velma's song. Or I put out a song that's appealing to the mass, and everybody is coming to my link thinking it's Velma's link to the song, and everybody's purchasing it, and I make $10 million off of it. How much is Velma gonna get off of it? So it's always, like I said, we ask the what if, but then we don't ask the other what if.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And that's
mean,
actually going on right now.
we can take a current example that is very easy to duplicate. You take someone's picture and you start an account of some sort. Someone has a subscription to them. That's very easy to do. And even if that person didn't do it, even if it wasn't me that put out an account,
Hmm.
it takes years and who knows what else to clear up in my own,
Hmm.
world.
Exactly.
So it's such an ethical disturbance for sure on so many levels.
You
Hmm.
mentioned selfie verified, but here's a question about selfie verified. You can take somebody's picture, put it on somebody else's body, but the only thing that they're verifying is the fake person's face, right? So how do you go about that one?
You can't.
Well,
I actually had that pop up today. I think when I don't know. I think when I was coming over here, I was doing something today, and it said, asked me did I want a selfie. If I wanted, it says selfie. Did I want a selfie verification? I said no, because it was like, and when I said no, it just let me into what it was I was going into.
yeah, meet me every time you change your picture. So every time you change your picture, it wants you to verify. And what I've noticed as I wear wigs and different colored glasses, if I don't wear the wig and the specific glasses, it won't let me verify anymore.
Yep.
Even if I'm the same person, I'm like, don't you see the eyes, the nose, all the
You know what it
things?
did to me one time was told me
Please
that
keep
I
in mind,
said you can't use any filters. I'm like, filters? I'm not. Yeah, I said y'all don't like my me. I'm like, verification. Y'all don't like my pretty skin. It said that I couldn't use a filter. I wasn't using the filter. I was
Yeah.
just like this.
Jasper and Zach will be both be watching this episode, so maybe they'll look into this in the future.
Mhm.
But
Yes, man.
and the thing is, if selfie verified, like Jay was saying, technology is getting so good. Would you be able to tell If they're able to take somebody's face now and put it on top of these in these porno movies and on top of album covers and things like that, how are they not going to be able to put a picture in some way so identical that the system is going to be able to pick that up? I don't think they're going to.
It's the age old, like, I just think about who's going to have the technology first and who's going to have the remedy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the battle has always been there. And we're just seeing, like, a pretty great finale of, well, not even the finale. Hopefully, I don't want to suggest the, you know,
But I did like what you, when earlier I said I was going to run back. So since he has some time, I can run back to it when you were saying about the social aspect of it. I
Go ahead.
really, really like that you said that because a lot of times we get stuck in a certain thing and we don't leave it unless we're forced out of it. And when you said that, it made me think about I was in this job. I was working at this senior. It was like a physical therapy and assisted living and things like that. And I was staying there and staying there and staying there. I was going through a divorce, so I'm staying there because money's funny. I got kids. And it wasn't until they decided that they wanted to let me go as and had no reason. And when they were telling me the guy told me the reason, I was like, but da 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 da. He said, oh well, yeah, but then this, and I said, okay, but da da da. He said, okay. I said, you know what? Never mind. Thank you, thank you. And what ended up happening was my attorney was infatuated with me for whatever reason. And that same day, his office manager called me and offered me a job as a paralegal. So if I sometimes we get so comfortable and we stay at stuff, but I understand because my son that I said that's out here working in IT never thought he would do anything like this before. Never. I never thought he would. He never thought he would. He doesn't like working around people and he can't stand when this don't work right and that don't work right. But once he realized how much money he could make and how in demand he would be, oh, he started going on jobs with me. The lady who taught me, he started going on jobs with her. Now he's out there going just doing jobs and telling me what he going to do. And I'm like, oh, okay, I haven't even done that yet. Tell me how to do it. That kind of thing. So it does push people to go into a different field because we have to stay on top of whatever. When I back in the day, my dad told us go into computers or something medical. Always, always going to be needed. And that was 50 some
Right?
that was 50 years ago. And that's still the case today. Medical and into computers.
This is Tech Talk with Emoji J. This is Sunny Boma. This is going to be the last segment. I'm going to do new technology and basically there's a device called the photo stick, which basically can sort up to about 60,000 photos at once and gives the names. It's basically artificial intelligence that can give the names of the photos, a description of the photos, and organize and sort the photos. And there's no price on it. When I looked it up, there is no price on it, but it's a brand new technology device that basically uses artificial intelligence um, to sort out the photos. Wow, the photos, and I think it's
You
a
said
good.
40,000 in a minute?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say the time. It just says 60,000 photos, but I'm across multiple devices. I'm assuming that it can do it in this short amount of time because it is a
Wow.
device that connects to like a USB thumb drive, and it will do all of that itself, and it connects to your computer and you use software and you use the software is what does it, but I'm assuming that it does it in a record amount of time. If you're a photographer, I see this as a beneficial to you because if you take a lot of pictures, say weddings, whatever, you can organize them by weddings. It's gonna know what the wed, it's gonna know that it's a wedding picture. It's gonna know that it's a building. It's gonna know. It's gonna know what each category is, and that I think that it's a good thing for photographers and I will look into this more and see because I might actually use it because I do video editing. If they came out with this with a video editor, then that would be amazing for me because I
Hmm.
have such videos everywhere on my computer. If it could sort my videos for me, hey, I'm down, I'm game, I'll buy it. You know what I mean?
It would definitely be good for you.
But that's definitely the device, the new technology for this week. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. If you guys want to put anything that you guys got going on, I feel free to do that now. We're coming at the wrap up of the show.
I don't think I have anything coming up. Like I said, Reinvented with Sunny will be back, not this week, but the following week. Reinvented with Sunny will be back on at 3 p.m. Eastern. I will be bringing Old School Friday Nights back. Reinvented with Sunny After Dark is coming back. Age to Perfection auction is coming back. So those of y'all that's in that age range, that 40 and over. What do you say?
You be the admin, you know who to hit up.
Oh, it's getting rough. Let me tell you, trying to run two businesses, trying to stay healthy, be a streamer. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Um, yeah, but those and I do. But see, my stuff is with this split. A lot of my stuff is going on the other side because I do have a I got 500 auction is coming up on the 24th, I believe, with Coley Co. So that one is going to be coming up. I don't even advertise because I don't know, where everybody's at.
Sorry.
I don't know where anybody's at. So just follow me and come and have some fun and get some good food and good music, life lessons. Yeah, that's it. Sunny, you're only 37. Oh, I'm 57.
I am currently working on my game show, name game. It's on Mondays at midnight. I have a couple late night streams that I just check up on everyone. How are we doing? And more to come.
Yes.
Number one gift for the stream is uh, Afro. So
Woohoo!
everything as usual, always doing number one on my stream. I appreciate you all for coming. This has been an hour-long show. This is a pilot episode of Tech Talk. It used to be Tech Bites because Chris originally gave me the name. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm not gonna throw any shade. Um, let me favorite security. Hold on. Thank you all for joining, and I'm going to end recording here.